目指せよ快眠勝ち取れ安眠いざ夢の世界へ理想の眠りを求めてさあ始めようおやすみ Nonレム睡眠レム睡眠 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 Nonレム睡眠レム睡眠私は囚われの姫魔王の城の中で一人閉じ込められては毎日ひたすらに眠ってます今宵も布団に入りすやすやるすと生活
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Choochagatari, Unlimited Trainworks video game Choo-Choo's anime podcast. It is October 20th, as of recording, 2020 is the year, and we're here to talk about anime. Not a specific anime this week, that's in a couple weeks from now. We'll be talking about Angel Beats, just a reminder. But for now, with me as always, Elvie.
Hello.
Hey. And John.
Rose, I'm going to be honest with you. This has been one of the most harrowing seasons of anime so far.
It's pretty,
Since we have started, it has been, like, non-stop drama, I feel like.
what kind of drama do you mean? I mean, there's several things going on, but I mean...
Exactly.
Well,
we will get into it.
Okay. What do we want to start with? We could start with the one I feel like is immediately,
I still don't know which one you mean, because there's so many.
I don't know which one you mean.
That is true.
I'm just talking in general, There's a lot of shit that's just going crazy constantly.
Name one right now and we'll talk about it.
Okay, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to blow the load a little too quickly here,
okay. Start with like a low-key one.
Alright, I mean, I feel like talking about the Higurashi problem, in a sense, here, is something we could talk about. Because, we talked last time. Like, I spoke about how I enjoyed that first episode, and then, LV, you went on and spoke about how you're a fan of Higurashi.
Yeah.
And you're excited about this.
Yeah.
For me, I'm upset. And, you have this written down for yourself as well. But, if you want, you can talk about what went down with the marketing for Higurashi, and then the reason why I'm upset should become evident.
So, a lot of what people were led to believe is that the implication is that this new Higurashi was outright a reboot, a remake, so to speak, and was just going to be a retelling of the original anime. Or at least not even the original anime, but like an original, like one of the original stories, at least, from the get-go. But, like, after episode 1, and also specifically how episode 1 ends, for people who've seen the series before, or like have a familiarity with how the events of the games go, the story goes. There was a final shot in the first episode that was very, I think, foreboding to what this problem leads into, and what the problem is. And it turns out the series is not actually a remake, but it turns out it is actually some sort of loose sequel, so to speak, to at least the original anime, and there's a chance that it might be veering into original new plotline in that regard because of that. And the problem is, like I said, a lot of the marketing around the show led people to believe that this was some sort of remake. But now we kind of run into the issue where we're entering episode 2, and episode 2 literally starts off with revealing a very significant character up front without really saying who it is. So if you're new to the series, you're going to be like, who is that? But also at the same time, you're being revealed a very significant plot thread that you probably should not know yet or have questions about at this point in the series. And and I think there's a huge problem here in both regards to the marketing of the show, but also the framing of how this show is going to be. Probably, I do sense that with going in past that, like, the series still is going to be good, or at least compelling enough to keep watching. But now this creates a significant problem for someone like John, who's like a newcomer and wants to watch the series, but then it has all these like references, and now we're going in with the context. Okay, there's going to be some things in the series that is going to confuse newcomers and really is meant to egg on people who already are familiar with what happens in the series. And I think that's really bad writing. I think if they wanted to do that, they should not frame the series from the get-go how it is up front. I think they could have done that in a more clever way without potentially spoiling the experience. I think of someone coming in, for instance, outright showing these weird Easter egg scenes that will prelude to something that only someone like me who's familiar with the stuff that happens and certain plot details would know and get. Whereas someone who's not familiar with that stuff, it's just going to be confusing, if not kind of, like I said, it might somewhat spoil this experience, because now you kind of have this familiarity with stuff you don't know about, but at the same time, just seeing that stuff is like, it kind of ruins the mystery and the suspense of like what the show's going for.
It definitely does, because like I watched the first episode, really liked it, and then tonight I was like, okay, I'm just gonna start up the second episode. I know it's not actually a remake or whatever, but I'll just see what happens. And it starts off saying that someone dies and talking about like a bunch of weird shit that I, couldn't pick up on from the first episode. And I was just like, okay, yeah, whatever, like it flew over my head because I didn't really know what was going on. But yeah, you're right. Like if I kept watching stuff and then even going back to the old stuff, it might be like a little wonky, it's just, It was such a bad idea saying that this was going to be good for newcomers. Like, I get that they wanted to have this twist of, it's the foundation of the thing that you remember, but we're playing around with it. But it was after the first episode, It's not like the rebuild of Evangelion, where they remade the first few episodes in that first movie, and then halfway through the second movie, things started to... Well, okay, there were little things in the second movie, but like halfway through the second movie is when it really starts to peel off. And on this, it was one episode in. So they didn't even play around with it that much. It was just like, oh, we got you all hyped up that we were going to remake it, but then we didn't. It's like, okay, sure, all right, well, now I'm just not going to watch it because I might still end up watching it eventually because I am a little interested in Higurashi stuff now. I might, read the visual novel or watch the old anime or something like that, but now I'm behind everything, and it's a bad feeling, and I don't know, it's just such a bad way to get people interested in stuff, and, really the reason why I'm interested is because... It's mostly because I see you and I see other people whose opinions I trust getting excited over this. And, if I didn't know Higurashi fans who were so excited about this, I would probably be... I would absolutely not be looking into that because I would be turned off from it, from them pulling that shit. But now I'm like, I'll try something else and I'll see if I like it enough to maybe get to this new anime. It's a bad idea. They really should not have done this.
Yeah, they definitely dropped the ball with that, and I agree with you. I think, like I said, there could have been a more clever way to do this in a very subtle way that would not alienate new people. I think this could still be a sequel, but like you said, they were really overt about it from the get go. It's like, oh, okay, that's a little weird. This is not really helpful to anyone. And yeah, it's definitely something. Yeah, it's definitely something that I think if someone's can stomach horror and violence and whatever the stuff that happens for something like this, it's definitely something worth exploring because it kind of was a significant thing back then, and especially in the when it comes to doujin game history, I think it really was one of the first series where it kind of monopolized this idea of the creator was like, I'm gonna sell this game in parts and that's how I'm gonna make money out of this. I'm literally gonna have two different versions of basically the same game, which this is literally what that is. It's where one copy of the game is here's the problems that happen, but that literally you have to get another copy of the game to get the answers and to figure out what the hell's going on, which is a really funny, but looking back, I'm I think a lot of smaller games creators back then didn't think about something like that, so that's pretty smart, honestly. But I think it kind of did, so in terms of games history, I think that it kind of had a little stint in that aspect, and now here we are, where yeah, like it was a big deal because people were like, oh fuck, look at these cute anime girls doing horrible, violent things, and the memes that came out of it right around that time. Because I think a lot of people who were like stepping to anime at that point in time, like years ago, were like, oh, this is like the edgiest thing I've ever seen, which is really not, but it still gets pretty messed up. But very interested too to see how they translate some of like the horrible things that happened to. I'm curious as to how they're going to revisit those. But yeah. So yeah, hopefully at some point you're able to absorb the Higurashi in some manner. But yeah, unfortunately, it's probably not in your best interest to do it through this new anime, right? Unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm not like devastated or anything.
Yeah.
It's a bummer and it's sloppy of them and not worth it whatsoever.
Right.
They really could have. They could have gotten more people into it being upfront that it was a sequel.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if they were just like, hey, this is a sequel, check out the old stuff, because I'm pretty sure a lot of the Higurashi visual novels on Steam now, and...
Yeah, a lot of them have been remastered. Most of it. I think there's still a lot that hasn't been, because again, like, the whole thing where, like, it was deliberately made in different parts.
Right.
But a lot of it has been remastered, even when you artwork and whatnot, if one cannot tolerate the original artwork. But, yeah. It's totally, at least the main parts, I think, are accessible now today.
Part of the weird thing to me is just like I don't know if this is true or not, but I saw someone saying that a lot of the Higurashi stuff that would theoretically be in this part still hasn't been localized over here either. Like there's like Xbox 360 games or something and like other stuff, and that's an aspect I've been seeing recently.
It's so like dispersed. It's really weird and. Again, like I'm saying, it's both like a interestingly revolutionary thing, but also a very unconventional thing, which is a reason why a lot of games don't do that, right?
Yeah.
So.
This. Oh well. I think it's a really weird choice for them to have done that. I think it's been so long since the first Higurashi one that I would have thought to just I don't know. Maybe they could have done this, Maybe they could have just done this and also done a remake. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, well. All right, let's break up the pace. Let's see here. What do we got? Got
a lot.
Yeah, okay. So...
Week.
Sleeping Princess, John. You watched this? Did you see this, LV, too?
Not yet.
Oh man, it's so good.
I'm very excited.
I think you'll like it. I think you'll like this twisted woman. It's pretty good. Yeah.
She's just sleeping? She really is just sleeping?
She's obsessed with sleeping. She is like a psychopath.
She is fucked up.
Yeah, she has killed people.
Because she sleeps?
Yeah, so like in the first episode, one of the things that she does is the very first thing that she does once she's kidnapped or whatever in the demon prison is she's like, damn, I can't sleep. I need a better bed. And she looks at these little teddy bear guards or whatever that are just floating teddy bears, and she's immediately like, I could just kill them and take their fur.
Take their fluff. Yeah.
And they're just like crying, and she's like, okay, I won't do that. And she like brushes them and makes a pillow or whatever out of the extra fur. And it's like, okay, so she's normal, I guess. She's not that. Literally, like immediately after that, she kills like this living like sheet ghost thing that's just going around named Ghost Shroud. She just kills him and takes his body and makes like sheets out of him.
Oh my god.
And
that's like literally an animal skin then.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's like a person that talks.
So they make it like less of a big deal because, they're all demons and also they can get revived. But there's points where she cuts them up just enough to keep them alive, but doesn't
Yeah.
That part was fucked up. She's like, yeah, here, I don't need your head or arms. You can stay alive.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. There's a part where this man comes in eventually, and he's finally like everyone else just sort of like is letting her do shit for some reason. Like they just are like, oh, we don't want to bug her or something. And like there's a point where this one dude's like, I've had enough. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna like give her what for or whatever. And he goes in there and she has like 30 dead bodies of the little sheet ghost or whatever just scattered all around. And it's just like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's a twisted program. She has died also.
Oh, shit.
Like 4 times from like falling in lava, getting shocked by a dragon.
Then how did she resuscitate?
So she gets a little gravestone like in an RPG, and then they take the gravestone to the church, and then she respawns. Yeah. They have a little like demon pope who has like a horns and then the pope hat over his horns, which is pretty good. The whole thing I really like is it's all Castlevania type stupid enemies. Like, yeah, just really dumb shit. Yeah, I really like it. What do you think, John? Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, it's 2 jokes.
It's 2 jokes, that's for sure.
Like 2 or 3, yeah, but they build upon it, and the characters are kind of cute, and that's really it. It is completely empty calories, just, it's cute and it's funny, and that's it. Honestly, though, like, I feel like if it was in any other season, I wouldn't be so ready to eat it up, but because it's in this season, it's like one of the more normal, non-horrific shows this season, so I'm just like, fuck it, this bitch loves sleeping. That's great, like...
Yeah. It had very similar vibes to, I don't know if it's the same studio or not, Endro. That was that show I watched a bit ago that was about, like, all the 4 anime girls who were, like, trying to beat a demon lord or whatever. It was very same energy. Yeah, it's by the numbers, like you said, like, very, like, yep, here's the 2 jokes. I'm interested to see what they go with it. I think it's funny that they translated Akatsuki to Donner as the name of the hero. I mean, it works. I just think it's funny that they would call him Donner, because that's a name, for sure.
Sure is.
Yeah, yeah. Just having fun. I think, like, the way I'm having the most fun with it is just how unhinged she is, I guess. Like, it could have been, just, like, very basic, like, her doing shit. But she is just really, really unhinged.
Did you see the newest episode?
I don't think so, no. No.
Okay. That one, she gets extra unhinged. Like,
what do you mean extra? She's killed so many. Like,
well, she summons a twink to like she wants to read a book to get tired. She wants to read an extra boring book, and she finds like this ancient grimoire. And when she opens it up, it summons like the spirit of the book, which is just this twink. And she's like, "All right," and he's like, "I could just destroy all the demons for you." And she's like, "No, I just want to sleep." And so he gives her sleep powers, like a sleep spell. And she casts it and puts everyone to sleep, but it doesn't put her to sleep. She gets pissed.
My god! I really liked my favorite scene so far has been the one where she walks into that like meeting with all the demons or whatever, where they're talking about the sleep potion, and she just grabs the sleep potion, and he's like, can I help you? And she's just like, bye, and like leaves, and he's like, no, please.
They're just like, we need this for the meeting, and she just like looks at them like, are you sure you do?
I love, yeah, I'm interested to see how it goes. It could very much just become like boring after a certain point, but I don't know. It's fun. Elvie, are you caught up on Yasuhime? Because I'm 1 episode behind, I think, now.
I only got up to episode 2.
Okay, me as well.
Not 3. Okay. All right, well.
Yeah, you wrote here that she has a whole ass gym set in her bedroom.
She has a whole ass gym set in her bedroom. Bath, I was astounded.
So her foster father is Kagome's brother, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I thought so, okay.
Yeah, and he kind of has an idea what happened. So basically, this is still kind of like a flashback episode. Well, actually, I'm not sure, but anyway,
it's
the
like
first
an
episode was
Origins.
literally a bigger flashback episode where it showed the original cast of characters, and there were some shenanigans going on with our 3 new main characters, whatever. And I'm not sure at what point we're going to return to that, but then it goes back to their childhoods and explains, okay, Shishimara had 2 twins, they got separated, and one of them ended up in the modern world, and she got founded by Kagome's a younger brother who is now an adult. He has his own family, and he kind of recognized, like, okay, I get what's happening here. Some time traveling bullshit's happening again. I'm going to take her in and raise her, but in the modern world. And then meanwhile, there's still other stuff going on in that past timeline, and now they all basically now are zapped back into that past. Demon shenanigans happening as they are. Something's up. And they don't recognize each other. They don't remember each other. The daughter who was zapped in the modern world, she kind of has a sense of memory back. Huh?
I thought that Toa remembers that she has a sister. I think she recognized her like immediately, right? Like,
yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
But the other sister does not. Yeah.
Yeah, the other sister does not. There was a returning older character, which is, I think, Sango's younger brother, who again is adult. But like, it's interesting. He doesn't recognize the three of them. At some point, he runs into them. He doesn't recognize Inuyasha's daughter, Inuyasha and Hiromi's daughter. So there's definitely a lot of questions whether or not maybe a lot of them got separated over time, but that makes no sense as to why they wouldn't remember.
Like,
so I think there's definitely something underlying, maybe.
Like, where are they? Like, where's Inuyasha? You know, like, where's...
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of questions. Like, you know, it kind of doesn't make sense as to why there's the classic case of, like, you know, the parents are just abandoned their kids in the sequel syndrome. Are they all dead? Like, you know, is that like that classic issue? Oh, they just killed them off, I guess. But who knows? At this point, I don't think there's a lot to figure out what's going on quite yet. But there's definitely some. I think there's some. I would like to believe there's something like up, you know, intentionally, not that there's some bizarre continuity error going on here. But yeah, very interesting so far. Action's pretty good still. And
I think the only thing that drove me insane is that I think in the next episode preview they had Kaede there, or maybe she was in the episode, and I was just like, man, Kaede's like 100 years old in feudal Japan. Like, what? Beyond
the average lifespan of that time period. That is like weird.
She's so old. They didn't make her look older. They just kept her looking the same too, which is like, I remember when people were like, "Oh my god, is that going to be Kagome?" And whatever. They all look the same. But no, it's just her.
They truly did not. They truly put so much work into these like really cool like main character designs, but with all the older characters, they're like, nah, fuck it. We're just gonna keep them looking exactly the same because we don't think our viewers would remember how they look like. Sure. She has Toa again, the girl who ended up getting raised in the modern time period, the present day time. She has a fucking gym set in her bedroom. She's like 13, 14, whatever. She's like she's like a preteen. She's fucking ripped for her age. I don't understand. It's all kept in her bedroom. It's terrifying. And then she just has the audacity to like beat up. Oh yeah, she later in that same episode, she's like defending her like younger foster sister, younger stepsister, like her adopted dad's actual daughter, from like bullies. I think those were literally character designs from Urusei Yatsura. I think that's what like someone clarified. Like, yeah, they're actually weird background characters from Urusei Yatsura. They just decided to use. And she just beats them up. She's like way too cool. But yeah, a ripped 14-year-old, very terrifying. Very terrifying. Yeah. But yeah, just a lot of questions so far. There isn't really not much to say about speculation, I guess.
The thing that I really appreciate. I mean, okay, let me restart. There's a derangement here again to continue of like how like ridiculous it is that she just like has to fight these dudes every day or something like that. Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. And then they're just taking it knowing that she's good at.
Like, she beats them all every time without even getting hit.
Right. So I'm like, why are they bothering?
Why do they keep doing it? Yeah. It was very much like, I don't know why this is happening to her. I guess this is what Shishomaru's life was like, so... I did appreciate also that in the first episode, he's like, why are you wearing a boy's uniform? And she's like, I hate gender. This is the stupidest thing in the world, or whatever.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
And it's just like... But, like, if she goes back to the past, it's not going to get better. I don't, like...
Right.
I don't know what that plot line's going to be like. I don't know what's up with their little pearls that come out of places.
Their eyeballs? Yeah.
It's in their eyeballs, but Inuyasha's daughter just has the has it in like a little clam for some reason.
Yeah.
I did like that Inuyasha's daughter can also do the arrows. That's really good. I'm looking forward to this. I'm glad that it continues to just be Inuyasha, which is really good, because it could have very easily not been, like how Boruto sucks ass. Not that Naruto, didn't suck ass in the end or anything, but,
No, yeah, it feels like the original series,
Yeah, it has those vibes, like just all the way, like the way it proceeds throughout as it's going on, the music, it's good. It's good. I did look up me and my roommate looked up what Sunrise has been doing, since they're doing this too, and like obviously they do Gundam, but like literally all they do is Gundam, or did we own this property in the 90s? We're doing a new one. They haven't made anything new in like
pretty safe
20 years or something.
Pretty safe.
Yeah, it is pretty safe. Okay. John.
Hi.
How's Dragon Quest? Speaking of old things.
Yeah, it's normal. It's extremely normal. It is the most normal possible show.
It is.
It's very pretty, and I enjoy watching it to an extent, but it is showing its age every episode. And not in necessarily a bad way. It's the kind of thing where it's like replaying an old Dragon Quest game. It's like going back to an NES and Super Nintendo Dragon Quest, and dealing with the limitations of the time. And well, this is like a patched up version. This is the HD remake. In a sense, it's still the same story that was from the 80s, early 90s, and that is how that was back then. And it's just, it's there's the training arc just started. So Dai is learning how to do all the moves. Isn't that exciting? It's not really exciting.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. It literally does feel like an old Saturday morning cartoon. It's like, this is not something I think if I was much younger, and like this is something I would look forward to watching every morning that weekend. Like this is what would motivate me to bother waking up early on the weekend, right? But other than that, it's just something on a very straight line trajectory. It's not. It doesn't really have highs or lows. There's like a lot of fun parts, but it's not something where me right now, who would probably have more interest in something that's has a little more going on with it.
Yeah.
It's just going, for me, it's literally hard to describe specifically what happened. I think, John, you just pretty much summed it up. Yeah, he just learned magic. He just learned a little more magic recently and like saved a princess, but that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what happened. And then there's someone coming in who's trying to potentially like train him more, or maybe there's an ulterior motive, but that's pretty much it. It just very much feels like this is something I'm just going to catch on TV, and I'll sit down and watch it, but it's not something like I'm going to go out of my way to try to watch, because I don't for anything that interesting that will happen is not going to be that compelling. It's not going to be that compelling for I'm going to be on the edge of my seat.
Yeah,
you don't know what happens,
Like the latest episode, they just basically say that the Demon King is back. They don't really show it. All the monsters go crazy, but they're just like, oh, it's because the Demon King's back. And then two guys roll up on the island, and one of them looks like Dai when he's older. And like I remember, in the opening, in the OP, I thought that it was like, oh, maybe there's going to be some kind of time skip or something, and that's Dai in the future. No, it's this guy, and his name is Pop with two P's at the end. It's Pop.
Yes.
And the other guy is Ivan de Zinnuar II, who is the hero tutor. And he's just like, I'm going to teach Dai how to be a hero in 1 week. And I'm going to give him the hard course. And he also cures all the monsters from being evil. He just like casts a spell to make them all nice. And then it's just training. That's all it is. The rest of the episode is just Dai training. And I'm pretty sure the next episode is just going to be Dai training. It's old school shonen. This is original shit. This is the original kind of shonen, and if you don't want that, that's fine. I get it, but this is very pretty to look at, so I'm not too upset to watch it. I am still enjoying it. I still think if you enjoy Dragon Quest, if you enjoy these kinds of stories, it's still good.
Cool. I can't imagine that it would definitely be a little harder off of what Elvie said to get into. Like, for example, like I just said, like, oh, it's great to have Inuyasha again. And, Inuyasha isn't exactly, like, wasn't exactly par for the course for what shonens were like at that time period.
Mm-hmm.
It was very, more shoujo, I guess, more.
Yeah, it had romantic elements, but also that was not even the strong. That was definitely, like, I think, honestly, the weaker
Yeah, absolutely.
parts of that series anyway, but
there was this vibe to it that was very, anachronistic at the time. Whereas, like, I feel like it must be harder to get into something like this, where this is just, a very, like, yep, it's a good one of those of the time period when a lot of other ones have come out since and built off of it, I imagine.
Yeah, I just think that you need to keep in mind that this is based on an older story.
Yeah.
As long as you can do that, like, it's worth it to go back to those kinds of stories. Yeah. It's worth it to see where where shonen came from, where these stories originated from, and to see the backbone of today's stories. And just as much as it is important to go back to old video games to see where newer ones got their ideas, and, like, it is very much worth it to see this, especially in the new updated form. But just keep that in mind. That's all.
Yeah. Well, let me, speaking of the new updated form, let me tell you, I am very much liking Jujutsu Kaisen, which is the hot shonen this season.
It's very fun. Yeah, I finally, stepped into it. It's very good. Incredible opening animation.
Awesome.
Incredible ending.
Both
love
of them,
that.
Great music throughout the whole show, I think. Just in general, it's good soundtrack. Great animation in general, also, just very fast.
Yeah.
How are you caught up all the way?
I think I'm on the most recent episode. They introduced Hammer Girl.
All right, yeah.
Hammer. As I get used to the names.
It's great. It is very much like
she is unhinged.
They're both unhinged.
They're all unhinged, but like each in their own different way.
I feel like I've said this before, but when we were watching Demon Slayer, how the thing that I really like about modern shonen compared to the old stuff is, like, if you go and look at, like, listen, Gon's a nice kid, but he's really fucked up a lot of the time, and, like, Naruto is a bastard, and I don't know how you could ever like him, and then, like, Ichigo's a real bastard too, and you go and look at all these old shonen people, and it's just like they're just like bastards, or they're annoying, or like, and like they were like unhinged, and you're supposed to be like, oh, you feel bad for them, but like with Naruto, I could not feel bad for him. This is like his rich dad died, and he's just living here, like, like that's how it felt with Naruto, for me, anyways. But like with all these new ones, like the Jujutsu Kaisen man. He is, like, so unhinged, but he's not annoying. He's, like, he's charming, I guess. Like, and just how, like, much of, like, a dweeb he is, I guess.
Yeah.
While also just being, like, crazy. Like, his like, them just saying, like, yeah, he's cursed now and he has all these powers, but he was just sort of fucked up before.
He ate a fucking demon tongue. Yeah. He ate a rancid dead body part, and this is why he's here now. That's it.
And it's just like, but he's like, he was fucked up before, like that first episode where he, they did all this stuff.
In the occult club, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, what did he say? He said he's like the principal of the school when he goes there to apply. He's one of 3 first years for the school.
Yeah.
And he says like, he introduces himself and says, I like beautiful women like Jennifer Lawrence, and you're just like, what? Like.
And at some point, he's he when he gets instituted in the whole gang, right? The whole gang where they have to like, he like, when he moves into the dorm, he literally puts up this poster of this like white blonde like bikini model, and it's just casually like, like what? It's such a good weird detail. Like the series has really good weird nuances, like weird eccentric behaviors that these characters all have, and they're just doing it on the side. Like, it does a very good job at showing and not telling, to show how bizarre like this world is and how these characters are and what their quirks are. You know, and it's just very good. And I think they're playing off each other very well too.
Yeah,
because
like
they're all weird in their own way.
they
And it's,
have
like,
the
a
little
nice balance.
Sasuke kid, right? And he's just
Yeah.
like there. He's the most normal one. Like
Yeah, because he's not saying anything, at least so far. That's
he
the only
seems
reason
like
why.
not happy to be around.
Yeah.
But not in like the Sasuke way where Sasuke's a prick to everyone, just in the way of like he's like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
I also will say I think that the little you know, the encyclopedia or whatever, the ending bit that they do in all these shonen shows where they talk
Right.
is, I really liked the one for the most recent episode. It felt just like an extension of the show, rather
yeah,
than
yeah.
like a weird, now it's the time for jokes type thing. Even though it was very much now is the time for jokes, but it was like they're just so like it's a dark show, right? Like in terms of
It
like
is.
what they're
It's-
doing.
yeah, there's moments where it's really like, yeah, there's body horror. This is a
Yeah.
body horror show.
And but there's still just there's such a sense of humor and lightness to it, but it doesn't like interfere with that like that harsh vibe
Right.
that it has anyway.
Right. Right. It's been a good balance, I think, between these, you know, lighter moments and the darker stuff. I think so far there's just been a good balance. Yeah.
Yeah. And the fight scenes all look really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
The effects that they do on different things, like whenever they do magic, how it looks like maybe watercolor is the wrong word, but you know what I mean? Like it has that different.
Yeah. There's like an interesting smoky,
yeah.
misty effect that it has going on.
Looks
I
really
don't think
cool.
I've seen a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's fun, extremely funny that their teacher is just reverse Kakashi though, where he is covering his
Yeah.
eyes instead of his mouth.
Right. Right.
But same hair and everything, same attitude,
Yep.
pretty much. Like just reverse Kakashi. Yeah, I'm really enjoying that. Really, really looking forward to watching more of that. The next episode is called "The Cursed Womb Must Be Destroyed" or
Yeah.
something
Oh.
like that.
Yeah.
Which is
On that, literally. Yeah.
incredible.
The next episode preview.
Oh yeah, right.
Literally, there's a giant monster womb in the sky.
As
yeah,
it
right. Sorry
does,
that was interrupting you, but the title is like Cursed Womb or something.
The Cursed
Cool.
Womb Must Die. That was it.
Cursed Womb must die.
And the other thing that got me is they just end that episode by saying like, "Oh yeah, by the way, one of them will die." So
One of them fucking will die. One of the characters. Yeah.
okay.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing
God.
that didn't hit for me in these episodes at all was just I thought the whole backstory for the girl or whatever, where she's talking about her friend, was weird. It was just sort of
Very,
weird.
yeah, it was very bizarre. It like was touched upon, but I don't think it gets enough detail as to understand what happened.
Yeah, it was just
As far as
weird.
we know, like it just seems like or maybe she's covered. You know, she's a little weird with the rest of them, but she's kind of just put on this kind of show that she just wants to be around because she wants the glamour life in the city. But in terms of her relationship with her sister, which she has been hinting at, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I hope my sister's proud of me now that I'm here in like Tokyo, working in Tokyo," and so it's not really clear what's going on there. It just seems a little. It's like
Yeah.
dropping hints to nothing.
It was weird, like just the way they
Yeah.
like just threw it out there, sort of like that, like
Right,
just
but then
like
they don't really
cut to
show
it.
what happened
Yeah, yeah.
or explain what happened.
I'm sure
It just-
they'll do it later.
It just was abruptly, dropped. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be explored more, but yeah, it was a little weird.
I did notice the panda doing parkour in the opening now, though, which
Uh-huh.
I did not know there was a panda, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes there's just a panda. I imagine it probably has something to do with the principal of who has like all the stuffed animals that are alive or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah. Like puppeteering them.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Do you want to go to something fucked up again? What's something else that's fucked up that's
Oh, boy.
going on?
We're gonna get back into the pain.
Yeah, it was good. Well, I think it was good. We had a good little
Okay,
break.
but which is that referring to again?
Again,
there's
yeah.
several
Which one?
things
Which one do we want to go to
that
now?
have had pain.
Okay, there's like the funny pain and legitimate pain. Which should we go into?
Let's go with legitimate pain. Get it out of the way.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
we're gonna get into wondering which then.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yikes.
All right, who wants to tackle this one?
I can totally go into it.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. Okay, so Wandering Witch. A lot of us went into this series with the impression that with a very misleading impression of what this series might be. But at this point too, I don't know really what the series will be, and that is literally what I wrote in the notes. I'm like, I don't know what the series is going to be. It's very worrisome. I have hesitations, but I will keep watching the series to figure out what happens until something actually does set me off. But otherwise, well, okay, so in the beginning of the series, this is a young girl who wants to become a witch. She goes through this whole ordeal and training with through a very arduous, unhinged training session where this witch in the woods teaches her, like, basically makes her do housework and whatnot, and turns out, like, she was negotiating with her parents to basically do all this weird stuff with her and be really harsh on her to kind of teach her a lesson. And, there's this implication it's either because she just wants to make it clear, the world out there is harsh, or, maybe she also wants to just put a dent in, like, the girl's ego. And it's clear up front this young girl has an ego. She's one of the youngest witches to have passed, like, the certification to become a witch, and now the whole series is about her adventuring throughout the world, and each episode's gonna have, like, different stories, and there's gonna be this anthologic nature to it. This is a series about basically a traveler, and we are following a traveler who's gonna experience different worlds.
And that's not a bad idea
at all.
Especially because having this main character who is kind of a shithead and has an ego, traveling around meeting people, that could be a way for her to learn to have less of an ego, to find people and put them, ahead of her and stuff like that. Right. But instead, she's fucking insane, and everyone else is insane. Like, I think we want to talk about the newest episode, of course. Right. But it's important, I think, to talk about the second episode. Do you want to, or what?
You can go for it if you want to take turns with it.
The second episode, she goes to this village. Like, she keeps saying she's going to country, but it's really just like cities or villages. Yeah. And she meets this other girl who is also trying to be a witch, but she's really bad at it. And she's also extremely lonely, and is so desperate to just be, like, near somebody that she kind of sort of does some, like I think she steals, like, the pin from the witch. I forget the main girl's name. It's like Elena, right?
Elena.
Yeah. She steals Elena's pin that shows that she's a witch. Because, like, you need to show that to, like, be proven to be one, or else people give you the cold shoulder. And instead of, actually giving her some kind of condolences, actually spending time with her, anything like that, she just goes, I think it's good that you're alone. I'm gonna give you a hat, though. And she gives her a hat and just leaves.
She says it's important to know that you'll always be alone, and that being alone is good. And it was like, what?
It's unhinged! It's unhinged!
Also, there was, like, weird lesbian coding in that episode, also, like, multiple times.
And it wasn't like they both were. It was, like, that one girl, because she was talking about... Girl. Yeah, she was talking about, like, like, missing a friend so dearly and wanting to hold her and shit like that. So, yeah, lesbian coded, which does kind of put a bit more of a stink to it, where if they wanted the desperate girl to be gay, then Elena shoving her off is kind of like a gay panic thing almost, if you really think about it. Mm-hmm. But then you get to episode 3.
Oh, God.
And the first half of it is weird, but, like, it's not that bad. It's like this weird horror kind of thing.
She is a shit in that, though. Like, she is still
shitty.
Yeah, she literally is entering this new place, and she's like, oh, I gotta deliver these. Okay, she meets a woman, and who requests her, can you deliver these, she wants to deliver flowers on behalf of this woman she just randomly meets in the field, and she's like, oh, I want you to deliver it to this town to, for my brother or whatnot. And then she goes to this town, and she's just really rude to the security guard for some reason.
Yeah, he's just like, hey.
He honestly, since they're, like, asking you, hey, you're, like, entering this town, you're a stranger, I just need to know what you're doing.
Like, it is a country. Like, you have to consider, like, the medieval ideology of, like, there were just countries everywhere. There weren't, like,
but he's literally just asking, "Can I just see it?" This man literally was not doing anything, but she was just being weird and wants to keep passing on, and like it was very bizarre. And then it turns out there's like something really messed up going on like in this town. There's like a bizarre thing where there's this plague of some sort where these plants are actually like infesting people in a very literal way. It's making them sick. It's like literally zombifying them. So that's why. So then we get into this huge issue where we find out the guards actually like that's his sister, the woman that Elena meets in the beginning, who like wanted the flowers to be delivered. But the problem is that when Elena ends up returning to the girl, the woman has turned. I guess so. There's also huge gaps in the story too, where I think it's not really clear as to what happened between Elena entering the town and then Elena returning out of the town. But basically, when that story ends, and it ends in a very abrupt way, where like essentially once Elena leaves the town, she finds that the woman she has met has turned, and she and her brother has reunited, but unfortunately they've been zombified, and that's kind of it. It doesn't really elaborate else what's going on or like what was the point of that, right?
Yeah, she just kind of like shows up, sees that this is happening, and is just like, "Damn, that's fucked up. Bye."
And that provides an even bigger problem with the second half of this episode, where she shows up and does nothing. Now, so before I get into it, I totally get the whole situation where you're in a really horrifying situation and you don't want to do anything, but it literally felt like there was no reason for her to be in either of these stories. She literally served as a spectator, but in a way that served no purpose for the reader, and neither the character herself. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to go too much into detail because this really is like a really horrible, like triggering topic. But in the second half of the episode, but long story short, there is like sexual abuse in this. So if you want to skip ahead for a few minutes before I go into this, but she, she's again visiting a different place. She runs into a young man who basically in a jar he collects quote unquote happiness. So it's like you kind of see like visions of happiness in this jar, and he's collecting it and selling it to people. But there's this girl that this guy has a crush on, and he wants to give it to her. And then when Elena follows him, and he finds out the girl he likes is unfortunately someone who's like who is someone enslaved to his own father. And she's like being abused. She's being sexually abused. Yeah.
He's originally like, she's like a servant in our home, which like, kind of implies that she's just like a maid or something like that. But then when Elena shows up, she meets the dad, and he's just like he's like, yeah, she's awful, a slave. Yeah. I bought her. And
yeah, she's a slave.
And Elena's just like sitting there like, okay. And then they, there's these moments of, I didn't pick up. I mean, obviously, I think it's implied in there just a sense like, that there's some sort of sexual abuse, but it is very much like a really physical and controlling, where the dad is like reprimanding her for dropping something accidentally, and yelling at her and grabbing her and shit like that, and it's violent. And Elena, there's a scene where she's like, where after the girl drops something, Elena like goes, "Oh no, you don't have to worry about that," and she like takes her wand and aims it at the dad, and then just goes, "Da da da," and just fixes the broken jar. Like, that's it. And then she just sits there for a little bit, and is just like, "Oh well, yeah, that's all right, whatever," and then she tells the boy, like, you should show your happiness to her. You should, because she's sad about being a slave. And Elena just keeps thinking about, like, oh, this reminds me of this story of this, like, wife who was very sad about being sick and in bed. And then her husband went out and gathered a bunch of happiness just like he did. And so she's equating being sick to slavery, for one thing. And then the next thing is he shows her the happiness, and she's extremely distraught, and Elena just leaves, and she just goes, "Oh, I remember how that story ended. The wife killed herself because she couldn't actually experience happiness because she was stuck in bed." Like, holy shit, on so many levels!
It's really bad. It's really bad. It really made me think like, oh my gosh, is the author like some sort of nihilist? Like, what is?
It's
what the
disgusting.
Hell is this?
It's fucking disgusting.
Like,
it's equating disability to just having your life be fucked forever.
Abuse you can't control. Yeah.
She didn't fucking do anything to someone being a slave, and
right.
like she just thinks that they're gonna be happy. And then it's just like, oh, she's probably going to kill herself. Whatever, I don't want to think about it. Like, holy fuck!
Yeah, my biggest problem with this, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, there's other similar challenge shows like Kino's Journey and whatnot, but like, I don't think it's worthy comparing that series to this, where in something like that, and even talking about the recent remake of Kino's Journey, we kind of establish who that character is and where they kind of lie and why they choose not to intervene where they do and when they do. The Elena series is very inconsistent, I think.
She does nothing. I don't think...
Yeah, and at times where she does do something, it's something really
it's
stupid.
Awful. It's awful.
Yeah, like episode 2 where she just gives a hat. She's like, everyone's going to be... It's like, what? Like, how is this helping? And then the following episode where she literally showed that she has the capability of perhaps doing something, like literally that moment where she like fixes and cleans up the thing. It's very bizarre then later on where there was no send-off as to her doing anything else above that. So it's clear that this character in a sense does have the ability to intervene at times that don't make sense, I think. It's not consistent. And looking back, I think we had also experienced a different personality from this character across the 3 episodes. There is no consistent guideline as to what the character's morality is.
Yeah.
The first episode, for instance, we had a character who genuinely was like, honestly, a more sympathetic character where like, oh, she has a conscience. She's like, why am I being treated this way? Whatnot, like, etc. And she's just a younger girl. And like, I don't know how much time has passed since the events of the first episode where she's training. So maybe there's a difference there, and that's not worthy comparison. But like, there was a different character there. Second episode, we have another different character as to how far Elena was going to get involved with this other woman, and like, and leave her at. Third episode, now we have a totally weird, psychotic, like detached person who, for some reason, as involved as she was mentally with these situations, for some reason she resorted to these very pessimistic conclusions at the end and just decided to leave it at that. It's very odd. It's very, very odd. And I don't, going back to my own conclusions, thinking like, is the author like some really, like, is really deep in nihilism where they think humans are horrible and that's why they kind of have someone like this, like trying to provide an outside perspective to the world? It's a choice, I would say, and that's kind of why I wrote saying like, I don't know what the series wants to say, and I don't know what that means for the rest of the series in terms of like the other things that are going to be explored, right?
Yeah, because it's not saying anything. She is just watching these events transpire, and is not really reacting to it. These horrible things are occurring, and she's just like, wow, that happened. And there's no condemnation, and there's no acceptance of it. Like, it's
she's saying nothing about it. That's a great point.
I would almost not I don't necessarily want her to be like, wow, it's good that this is happening, but I almost do, just in the sense that it would be an actual character. There would be something to it. There would be something to talk about. There would be okay, she's a piece of shit. She's just there to see these horrible things happen, and she's not doing anything. Like, I want to sit the author down, and I want to be like, hey, why didn't she kill the slave owner? Why did she not do that? Does she really think that leaving was better? Does she think what? Because I don't think the author thought about that. Okay. It would be the wrong way to think about it, but I would at least understand how somebody if the author if Elena was like, I don't want to kill them because just thrusting her out into the world like that would be unsafe or something like that. You know, like, that would be
And it was also that kid's dad, technically, so that was...
Like,
that
would be bad to think, you know, because, like, I mean, also, let me be honest, Kid probably deserved it too. She could have iced both of them and just let the girl go. I think that would have been the right fucking call. That's what I would have done if I was her. But my point stands, though, that she doesn't have an opinion about it. Like, there's no scene of her being of her, like, really, like, trying to figure out what the answer is, trying to figure out why she's doing what she's doing. She just does it and leaves. And there's nothing to it. There's nothing to this show. It's offensive. It's offensive in that it's nothing. It's presenting these horrible things happening and then just leaving. Mm-hmm. It's nothing. And I am angry. I am angry at that. It is horrendous, and I am not afraid to say that. I think the author deserves to be ridiculed, and I'm, like, hearing that there was a review, which I mean, I'm shocked that the review of the original light novel didn't go fucking further into this, because the review that got brought up on my timeline pointed out that there's a section in one of the light novels where she shows up to, like, a country full of fat people, and she's just fat phobic the whole time. Like, not to say that fat phobia isn't bad, but, like, I feel like it's like that community meme or something where it's like, oh, I can take the slavery, but fat phobia is where I draw the line. You know, it's like,
it's like, what?
Like, you didn't have a problem before this?
You know what the problem is? I think. Yeah, and you made great points, right, John? Like if there was even just one moment where there was where she had an aside, and she was thinking to herself, okay, I can't do so and so. For both episode 2 and 3, like, for all the stuff that happened, like, there was no moment where she was thinking to herself, okay, why I can't do anything here. I'm going to leave. Mm-hmm. If she said at least that, like, oh, I can't do anything here, but she has not even said anything concrete about, like, her hesitation or why she made a decision as to not do anything as she does. You're right. It's like a totally weird cowardice like thing. Like, it's not neutrality. It's just nothing.
It's all cowardice.
It's just nothing. But right on that, you're right. I think this author does. I think the own creator doesn't even know what the personality of their main character is. Mm-hmm. I think they don't even. I think they just wanted to make a cute witch girl who's going to go out and explore stuff and have all these different stories, but she's not well thought out. She's not well thought out in terms of even being some sort of substantial author for the reader or viewer.
I mean, I would love...
There's literally nothing to her to relate or empathize.
I would love for a show that's just a cute witch girl interacting with shit, but she's interacting with fucked up stuff constantly, and they're not doing anything about it.
That's not my problem. Is less like, I am all for, hey, we took the, Kino's journey style thing. To quote Trixie, this show really is just like, what if it was Kino's journey, but Kino was an asshole?
Yeah.
I'm fine with the idea of, here's a cute witch or whatever going around and seeing fucked up things in the world, because a lot of these...
But it's just the execution of it.
It's her. Like, it's the problem.
Yeah.
It's literally all her.
Yeah.
This is like a character that is like, just has nothing going on, doesn't seem to have a moral code of literally any kind, doesn't seem to have motivations, doesn't seem to have goals, doesn't seem like, is like just an observer to horrible things, and then doesn't even like muse on it, like doesn't even like go like, it was messed up that was the case. It was just like, well, that happened, bye. Like, it's so
and there was nothing really even related to what her practice is that has happened.
Yeah. She's like
her learning.
Her being a witch has not been brought into anything in episode 3. Like, other than the fact that she was immune to the plants because she's magic. That's it.
Yeah.
And I still just cannot, like, you're right, Rose, in that she has no moral compass, but like the perfect snapshot of her having no moral compass whatsoever is that when she's flying away on the broom and she's like thinking about, oh yeah, no, he showed her the happiness thing or whatever. She remembers in the book she read that the wife killed herself. She just goes, well, I'm not going to think about that girl that I left behind. It's like, she doesn't want to think about the fact that she's just stuck being a slave forever or she's going to kill herself. Like, she just wants to leave that out of her mind, you know? Like, oh, I saw this horrible thing that happened. I'm not going to think about that. Like, that's so fucking horrible.
It's funny that you said before, like, yeah, the kid probably deserves it too, because in this situation, like, this kid is literally, like, basically like a character, and I recently read Fata Morgana, right? The House in Fata Morgana. That kid would be treated as, like, a humongous villain, like, in that game. Like, he's basically the same way. Like, it's so, like, why is there no examination here? Why is there no, like, hey, don't you know what you're doing is just fucked up? Like, she could be an asshole and talk like that too to him, you know? Like, she doesn't even use being an asshole to, like, any end at all. She's just an asshole, you know? Like, just, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Like, she could be a rude, like, she's just rude to people that don't deserve it and nice to horrible people. Like, that's really what it is.
And then the world justifies it, too.
Yeah.
Like, when she loses her badge or whatever, and they all just kick her out for no reason, just, like, over and over again. Like, it was so, like, what? Like, nobody's explaining to her why that was. Like, she didn't even realize she lost her thing until, like, the end of the day. Like, it was so, like, wouldn't they say something? No, because we have to position that everyone is fucked up, and it makes sense that she's like, you know, like, it's I think it's just bad. It's bad.
It's really bad, and I mean, like, there's a part of me that just wants to keep watching it just to, like, this is absolutely turned into a hate watch. Like, I want to keep going to see what else these motherfuckers are gonna do, because it's just like it's a I'm feeling distressed right now, getting so mad at this, you know, like, I just this is so shitty, but it's shitty in just such a basic, evil way that it feels good to just, like, gather with you three, or you two, and just be like, this fucking sucks.
And it's definitely not a minority opinion. There were definitely, like before I even watched the episode, like, a lot of other anime critics I follow, they were like, what the fuck is this episode? They all had the exact same negative reaction. And again, a similar opinion where, like, oh, this is definitely a lesser form of Kino's Journey, where this sucks. Like, you know, this is missing the point of, like, what a series like that is and what the purpose of a neutral traveler series is. You know,
yeah, it's just, what's the point? Like, what is what is being conveyed here? I just don't understand.
It's like,
it's the same thing I always I say, where it's just like, it feels like, yes, these are fucked up things that have happened. Sure, there are fucked up things that happen, but it's, instead of, like, being
like, what else are you saying? Sure.
What are you saying about it? You're just saying the fucked up things happen, like the thing I always say about how I wish that anime or light novel authors would go outside and stuff like that and talk to people. Like, it's the same thing. Like, it's just like, they read a book, and instead of going like, it's messed up, we should do something about this, they just go like, yeah, that's fucked up. It's like, it's the ultimate centrist anime. Bummer. What should we talk about next? Let me tell you. You know what's a weird show? Talentless Nana. Okay. Did I talk about this last time? I don't think so. I can't.
No, I don't think you did.
Okay. So this show is, it feels, so it starts out with being like the classical anime thing, where it's like, it's a superhero high school. They're all here. They all have superpowers. But this one boy, he does not have superpowers. And everyone bullies him.
Is this not Boku no Hero?
No, listen, hold on. So they're told, like, we're training you so that you can fight the enemies of mankind who show up all the time or whatever, and you can beat them. And they're like, okay. And he's, like, trying to build up confidence. This new girl transfers in and is like, oh, I'm gonna cheer you on. You can do it. You have something they don't, or whatever, and stuff like that. And he's eventually, throughout the episode, like, builds up confidence, and he realizes, like, I can lead everyone, and we can make things better. And he reveals he does have a power, but it's just that it neutralizes everyone else's power, and he saves the class from a bully or something like that. Everyone's like, damn, you're the leader now. Woohoo. And him and the girl go to this cliff to celebrate, and he's like, we couldn't have done it with you, didn't cheer me on. And she's like, yeah. And then she just pushes him off the cliff and kills him. And
like he dies?
Yeah, he dies.
Oh my god.
And
first episode?
Yeah, first episode, end of the first episode.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, all right, it's people like you who will be the worst ones, who will like just go into war and kill everyone.
Fuck.
That's one down. And she just goes back, and it's just like, okay, so she is sent in by the government to kill all these superpower kids
oh my god.
on this island school. Because apparently all the superpower people become terrorists, basically.
Oh my god.
Because they all have super fucked up superpowers that are all like, like they said, like, basically, like, at one point they had, like, you know, some dude who could, like, control plants or something, and they were like, we had to Raccoon City a place. Like, we had to nuke a city because he just decided to, like, fill it with poison, like, and stuff like that. So it's just like, yeah. So yeah, she's there to kill them all. And each episode is her just targeting someone and figuring out... She's pretending to have superpowers. She's pretending to have mind reading, which is just... She's very good at analyzing situations or whatever. So she's just... Each episode is her targeting someone and killing them.
What the fuck?
The second episode was pretty... it was interesting. Is this guy can go back in time or whatever. He can go back in time up to 24 hours. And she's just, like, figuring out how that she's going to kill him, which is ultimately, I'm going to trick him into going to the spot where there is water, but it was frozen over at this time, and then I'm going to make it seem like it's dirt that we're standing on, but it's really ice, and I'm going to have him time travel back to before this was ice, and it was just water, and he'll be so tired from the time traveling, he'll be in the water and he'll drown. What
the fuck?
And it's just, like... fucked up stuff like that. It's a fucked up show. It has vibes to it. I don't know what they are, but it has them. It feels definitely like a reaction to the millions of Boku no Hero shows there were. After that, and just in general, like, we're the high schoolers that need to defeat the whatever, but
they just wanted to make like a very twisted response.
Yeah, a Danganronpa.
We're sick of this. Let's fuck this up.
Yeah. And you know, like, I'm enjoying it to a degree. It's very much like the parts you enjoy about the detective work in Danganronpa, let's say, but it's like the opposite side where it's like you're seeing how she's formulating the kill. It's interesting. It's fun to watch, I guess. She did call a guy a fuckboy at one point, and he said, "What's a fuckboy?" And she was like, and then explained to him what a fuckboy was, and he was like, "That's amazing." And that's like the conversation directly. I'm not even like, he just said that. He wrote down what fuckboy meant in his journal. Yeah, I don't know where this show will go. Like, I guess she's just gonna kill all of them, probably. But it's she's the third episode already put her up against one of them is just invincible, and she tried to kill them by blowing them up with gasoline, but they survived because they're invincible. And I don't know how she's going to deal with that guy, because he's the evil quote unquote detective out to stop her or whatever, trying to figure out who's killing everyone. It's interesting, you know. It's a fun twist on those killing game type things where it's not a game, and it's just like, yeah, I don't know. That's also reminding me I did watch Akudama Drive also, which is just done.
And was it just pretty much what you expected?
It was just Danganronpa.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
I don't have much to say about it, I guess, really. It was really weird. It has good aesthetics, but I mean, that's Danganronpa, right? Like, that's... Yeah, I'm sure John will agree that I don't think the Kodaka man has anything left in his soul anymore.
I 100% agree. I am... I have lost a lot, pretty much all the respect that I had for him over the years. Just completely, like, I lost half of it at the end of Danganronpa V3, and then I lost the other half when, after Danganronpa V3, he just kept making killing games. Like, I still think about how many people keep saying that V3's ending was so good and so powerful when he's still making killing games. Like, even if I didn't like that, if he really followed through with that ending, I would at least handle it. But he doesn't. He's just a hypocrite. And he needs to fuck off. I'm pissed today. I'm fucking punchy.
I'm so sorry.
Punchy.
Let's go.
You don't have to apologize. I'm just fucking pissed.
It does suck.
Gotta get it out.
Yeah.
I think Akudama wasn't like the worst or anything. Like it is very much,
Yeah.
He's making his thing that he makes every 2 years.
We'll see how it ends, though. You know.
It's very much. It really just felt like he watched Psycho-Pass and was like, "I can do it." That's
Probably.
really what it was. I'm not even exaggerating. That is exactly what it is. Now that I said that out loud, that is literally what he did. Has the same like social score and everything, and like the fucking cyberpunk aesthetic. There's like some funny, like it's the Danganronpa thing, right? It has the funny moments, the like over the top fun stuff that you go like, yeah, this is enjoyable, and then it's just like yeah, I get it. People are fucked up. Okay. They did do one thing I like, which is that the cops that are coming to kill them have little stun batons or whatever, but they're shaped like the 7-branch sword thing. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that, I think they have like good little character introduction sequences every time a character is introduced, where they tell you their sentenced to prison or whatever, their number of years, and then like they do like a cool backflip or something. And that's cool. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He has like another anime coming out too, doesn't he? Or is it a game?
He has that FMV game that just came out, and then there's another game that I think he worked on with the 999 guy. I'm not sure. That's the one that's also a killing game, but this time it's about like kindergartners, so it's extra fucked up. And I think that
it went great for Ultra Despair Girls, so I'm really excited for what.
Yeah, I think that came out on like Apple Arcade and isn't going to be out on everything else until like next year. And so because nobody cares about Apple Arcade, nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, and Apple Arcade's still in a weird fucking place too. Yeah. Really screwing over a lot of people. So might not even come out, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh man, let me tell you, this is unrelated, but I was laughing extremely because, I try to keep up with those Cyberpunk 2077 things they do every once in a while. Mm-hmm. And just seeing them, I'm sorry, this is the wrong podcast, but goddamn, I was like, they had like, we have a special announcement about Stadia at the end, and I was like, oh man, they're going to cancel it hands down, right? Because nobody talks about the Stadia or whatever. And they were like, we're so excited to announce that we moved up the release date and it's coming out the same day as the other ones. And I was like, who is going to play it on the Stadia? Like, what? No. It reminded me the Stadia existed. Do you know the Stadia doesn't even work on the new Google Chromecast or whatever? Great.
Oh.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh.
Great stuff.
Great.
So good.
Anyways, anime. Nothing about that was anime related.
No. That's okay.
Fine.
Anime adjacent.
Yeah.
You know.
They are making that Cyberpunk 2077 anime, which is just
by
nuts.
Trigger.
Yep.
I don't know why they keep doing this.
Maybe it'll be good.
Yeah, I think that's something you can possibly separate.
If it's unrelated, right? I think they said it's unrelated to the story or something.
Is it just
like
an original story?
Yeah, it's like
Okay, so then
it could be good.
Yeah,
could be.
Trigger's had good stuff recently.
If it's very separate from the Project Red stuff, right? Then okay. Yeah.
And it's not coming out for like 3 years or something.
So there you go. Yeah, there you go. Maybe the energy of like whenever this game comes out, it's gonna be different,
Yeah.
The dust settles. So there you go.
Okay. Elvie, would you like to talk about an anime? You can pick whichever you'd like to talk about. You can talk about Tokinawa or it's Climbing Girls. Is it Utagawa Climbing Girls, or is that what it is?
Let's talk about Climbing Girls.
All right.
Let's let's veer into a different mood, right? Wow, okay. Sport climbing girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another one of those shows where it's revolving around a very particular niche, a very specific niche of anime girls in high school doing a very specific activity that's pretty not conventional for most high schools. Though this activity does exist in a lot, certain high schools that can't afford to do competitive sport climbing, but yeah, and shockingly, it's not as it's not as horny as it comes off to be at first, but it still definitely is, and you can tell it's really trying to hold back in a lot of places. But long story short, it's the typical tons of sports anime are like this. You either have a prodigy main character or the up and coming main character who's like coming from nothing, and all of a sudden they turn out to have like innate potential and whatnot. This is the latter. The main character, it's pretty. I lost my mind when they went into it, but she's a gamer. She was a gamer. And she went into this whole thing where it's like, oh yeah, I didn't have motivation to do a lot of it. But she's not like a slop, but it was a funny little thing that I lost my mind at. But she was basically like explaining how she didn't have like a lot of things to like motivate her besides like, to go out of her way to do more in life besides just like, going to school every day. But she didn't really have any unique interests beyond like her hobby of like playing games and whatnot. And basically one day she's just going to high school. She finds like an idol, an idol like wall, a rock climbing wall, just literally out in the it's a huge ass high school. It like looks like a wealthy high school, right? And like out in one of the open areas of the high school, like in the garden area or something. And she just sees this girl climbing on it, like aggressive, like a really fit, thin girl, like climbing it, toned down. And they just start talking, and she starts learning about like, oh, this high school has like a competitive like sport rock climbing club, And long story short, she gets into it, and she realizes, oh, she's pretty decent at it, and like the other girls in the rest of the club are like, yeah, we got a competition coming up, maybe if you're good enough, by the time that happens, you can even join us and whatnot. And that happens. She gets through it. She actually messes up in that competition at first, which was eventually though she overcomes and manages to meet like the criteria of like, oh yeah, you gotta hit a certain stone when you get to the top, whatnot, like all that. In my most like simplistic way of explaining competitive rock climbing, but yeah, I'm shocked. It's actually pretty thorough when it comes to explaining rock climbing. They actually go into being like, oh yeah, like when she messes up, they're like, oh no, they go into technical terms in terms like, oh yeah, she totally overstepped her bounds. She's like overexerting herself. She should have like saved her energy. Like they're going to all like this sports language. Like I was surprised. Like it's actually decently informative about like what the whole thing is. Like at some point they show like at some point, like after the girl messes up, like one of her classmates shows her like a technique to do to like help strategize her breathing and how to make sure she doesn't lose so much energy at first, so she's not sprinting in the beginning, and like she's pretty consistent so she can get to the top and still have enough energy to get to the top. But yeah, I was surprised like about how like, oh, it actually is decently informative. It's not just for show. But again, revisiting, it's still though like covertly horny. Like there are shots where, yeah, okay, no, it doesn't linger on it so like gawkishly, but like there are shots where like, oh, this could be totally a totally different angle to show them climbing. But no, we're gonna focus on the butt. A lot of the characters have like reasonably large bust, like noticeably large breast. And looking up the manga, literally one of the manga volume covers is like one of the girls bending over, her ass is up. She has clothes on, but her ass is up. This is undeniably there's the author is into this for like an ulterior reason. But then the most apparent thing, a lot of people may not realize this, but this is not a sport. This is not especially a competitive sport where you should be wearing the type of clothing you will see if you look up this show. They're wearing like very tight tank tops. They're wearing like very hiked up tight biker shorts, if not even shorter. Too much of their skin is exposed, and when you're rock climbing, you want to cover up as much skin as possible because you're going to be potentially scraping yourself. What they're wearing in the show as their team uniform, and in terms of the other characters they're competing with, they're like exposing too much skin that is not safe in regards to the type of activity they're doing. So, yeah. what they're wearing is vets for track, where you're going to be sweating a lot. But in this case, no, you actually want to protect and cover up as much skin as possible, because again, like I said, you're just going to scrape yourself. It has nothing to do with about like exposing too much. Like, no, literally on a practical level, you should not be like exposing your skin against like potentially scraping it against like even these artificial walls, which will hurt you. And yeah, like, but other than that, I'm surprised. It's not so bad compared to like, it's not bad at all, I would say. It's just like there's an apparent ecchi underlying, thing going on here, but it's not like to the point where it's eye rolling. It's just like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm actually kind of like interested in it. I like want to see what happens. It actually is very interesting. There's like a whole what's funny to me, what's funny to me, I think it's the third or second episode where they pretty much like went through that first preliminary competition. They beat it. Their team won, essentially, or at least didn't win, but they made it to the next stage of things. But one of the girls explained, yeah, there's like this whole, basically they were explaining there's like a whole Elite Four of like utter like competitive climbing girls that got a beat at some point. Like, it was just so fun. There's literally in this world, there is like an idol. There's a Japanese idol who literally her whole shtick is rock climbing. She like in her I don't know if she does singing or she's a musician, but like she's apparently like the big one. They got a beat at the end. It was just so funny. So I anticipate that they're just gonna run through this gauntlet of utter competitive women down the line. Yeah, they're actually more like gym leaders. They're literally like gym leaders.
Gym leaders, yeah, Tim.
Yeah, like in terms of like, as they go further along in competition and whatnot. But yeah, it's just interesting. Literally the third episode, they're like, oh yeah, we gotta train and practice more. It's like literally just a training montage episode, but literally they go to the edge of like the beach or the shoreline or along an edge of a cliff, and there's like an old man climbing up a cliff. And they explained, oh yeah, this is the guy who teaches us. I'm like, what the fuck? It was like a whole weird Eye of the Tiger montage. It was insane. It's really an itch. There's like really a lot of strange, funny things about the show that's like, oh, okay, I can deal with this. Yeah, it's just fun. It's just really goofy. But yeah, otherwise, if it was overwhelmingly just a fan servicey thing, I wouldn't take it. But it's not. It's definitely there. But it seems to be ignorable enough so far. Like, its horniness is just very surface level, but it's not the focus, I would say, right? But yeah, very, very interesting. Another weird thing on the plate, in the back burner, in the midst of everything else being watched. So
they make one of these every season, huh? Now
they do. Like, I know the last thing I watched was Katagawa Jet Girls, right? That was awful. That was legitimately awful, though, because it was apparent that, yeah, it outright was just trying to be like weird softcore porn, and they really were. I mean,
it was centered in Kagura,
they really were
guys,
trying
right?
to. They were really banking on that being another like multimedia franchise thing, and like it totally did not work. I don't hear about it anymore. Like, I don't know what happened because the anime coincided with a video game release. No one's talking about it. I think, like, no one's talking about it now, so I don't know where that's going. That's definitely, yeah. And it was just a ridiculous show where it just flagrantly bad and cheap all around. This I feel like actually has, and this is also a real sport. It's not a weird, horny, water gun shooting thing, whatever. This is a more legitimate real sport, and there's like a basis for it. And it's clear that, underneath the horniness there is some knowledge about what this is, right? There actually is something conducive here. So, yeah, I think it might be worthwhile.
All right. Well, I wonder what the next seasons will be. I'm just thinking now. I'm trying to formulate like what exercise sport have we not covered yet that they can use to show off these anime asses. You think like has there been a pool one in a while for girls, not for, maybe that's too blatant.
Like pool as in
pool.
billiards?
Oh, that would be a good one. Yeah, because they would be leaning over the table, right? You could get 2 shots for one.
Very easy, yeah. Easy ball jokes. There's so much fallacy.
You got it all, yeah.
Oh God.
My God.
We are writing these shows for these people.
Hey,
we need
Katakawa, call us up.
Come on.
This
is so easy.
This is easy. We got a light novel in the works. You're gonna love it. But we got great art on the cover. It'll really draw people in. They'll love it. The little logo can be a pool cue between 2 balls. Everyone will love it. It's great.
Like a wiener.
Okay. John, would you like to talk about your weeklies, your little weeklies?
Weeklies.
The weeklies.
I got my two weeklies.
The weekly funnies.
The weekly funnies, yeah. The teehees. The funny moments. Okay, so Pokemon. I don't remember what episode 40 was about, and I didn't write it down, but I did watch episode 41, and episode 41 was excellent. They have been doing these, like, two-parter comedy episodes. They did one a while back. That was the one where, like, Ash got, like, his mind taken over by a Slowking helmet. And that one was funny. But this one was very good. The first part was that Meowth got sick. He had a cold. And it looked like he was going to die. LV straight up just said, like, did Meowth die in this episode?
He looked really bad.
He did.
It was like the worst I think he's ever looked.
Yeah, he looked like he was dying.
Oh my god.
And so Team Rocket, they're sitting there and they're like, okay, we got to figure out what we want to do. And Wobbuffet just suddenly lets them know that he has a drone and has been, like, watching Pikachu with the drone for a while.
What?
And, yeah. So then Jesse and James go, wait a minute, I know what we have to do. If we watch these clips that Wobbuffet took and then dub over Pikachu, we'll get into Pikachu's head. And so it's just them trying to dub Pikachu, and it's very, very funny. I'd say that folks should just watch it. At the very least, watch that section. Because it is extremely, extremely funny. Like, I don't want to just, like, spoil jokes or whatever, but it is very funny. And then the second half is Ash and Go are just, like, out in a forest, and they come across a very dry area, and there's just a marsh tomp in there, and its head is just stuck in, like, its body is... Yeah, it looks like it's clipping into the ground, but it's like from the neck down, just completely buried in this dry area. And they're like, oh no, it's too dry, it's gonna die. I mean, they don't say it's gonna die, but they're just, like, worried for it. And they look around and there's other marsh tomp, like, watching, and they can't get them to do anything because they're scared of the humans. And then Go has a fucking Sobble, and the Sobble gets too sad to do anything. And then they try to carry water over to it, and that doesn't work because they drop it once and then they give up. And then Ash is like, okay, I'll fill my mouth up with water and then spit the water onto the marsh tomp so it can wriggle out of the dry ground. But then accidentally spits it out and then doesn't try again. I mean, you know, it was just, they just wanted to have jokes. So
no, I feel like that's like a strength of this new, you know, not this series, but like this new breed, I guess, this new, like, generation of Pokemon anime. Yeah.
They are trying new things, and it's, you know, it's fun. It's just a bunch of fun jokes that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, and it's a good time. It's a good time watching those episodes. Like, if you're gonna watch any Pokemon, I would say just look up the ones that are the two-parter comedy ones from this season. You know, they don't really have anything to do with the rest of it, so it's just light, funny. And then that's that. And then Precure happened. So if you recall, last time I talked about how during that episode of Precure, the Twink Pathogerm guy put one of the pieces into Notica and she became very sick. Well, in this episode, or in the first of the two episodes, she's ill and everyone's scared of her being too ill, and she's like dying in the hospital, and then Rabarin, like, holds her hand and there's this big powerful light and something escapes from her, and she's immediately better. And it turns out that when a human is infected with the pieces, it creates one of the human, like, characters, like the other ones are like, you know, the other main villains are like. And then they go to see this creature be formed, and it looks pretty much exactly like the twink. So it's revealed that the twink was born from Norika when she was originally sick, and that's why she got better, because he left her. So it was all him all along. Isn't that fucked up?
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's fucked
She
up.
gave birth to like a
Kinda, yeah.
a germ demon?
A pathogerm man.
Wow.
Yeah, she did that twice, and they were both twinks.
So whenever a human being is sick, let me reiterate what you just explained.
Not just normal sick, only if they get infected somehow by a pathogerm.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So in her past, when she used to be like constantly ill,
Yes.
that she was at some point possibly infected by a pathogen, and she never realized it.
It was always the pathogerm. The pathogerm infected her, and that's why she was chronically ill.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wish someone would come and do that to me.
I guess you just gotta find a healing animal, Rose.
Oh, I wish I could find a healing animal, yeah. I need that.
So then after that episode, she's like... I don't know if it's trying to show that she's, like, stronger because of it, because she lost the pathogerm, or if she's just, like, trying... I don't know, because she starts running every day, and I think they kind of... it's a little confusing what they were trying to show with that, because...
Yeah.
The episode at the end of it, they're trying to be like, oh, you know, she was stressed, and she was worried that she wasn't going to be able to do enough. But I think they're also trying to imply that maybe she got a little stronger from, you know, repelling the pathogen from her body. I don't know. But, you know, Asumi is like, well, Norika's trying too hard, so we should figure out a way to have her relax that's not just running every day. And... I don't know. It's weird. They introduced some trumpet girl who doesn't really matter that much, and maybe she will later, because they were like, oh, she had a really bad cold, and she came back, and now she's up earlier, like Norika is. So maybe she had a pathogerm too? Maybe that's what they're implying, and then she got rid of it, so now she's, like, stronger. I don't know. They fight a...
Maybe it's like implying she was like overworking now because she was afraid of getting sick again.
Maybe. I don't know. It's...
But also like in terms of like actual science, yeah, there's after you recover from being sick, usually sometimes you feel a little more healthier than usual in a brief period because you know your immune system, like even though you recover, your immune system's still like kicking at like 200% more
Right.
than it was when you were sick, so you're still feeling that after effect basically.
Right.
So maybe they're implying some real logic there, but I don't know,
Okay.
maybe that's overthinking it.
Yeah,
Though.
maybe. And then they fight a giant trumpet monster, pathogerm, because the trumpet gets infected.
Get sick.
Yes. And something I thought about, which I might have thought about this previously, but I thought about it again. Just the way that they fight pathogerms, the way that they are taken down. And I know I'm overthinking this. I know I'm doing some fucking, like, itchy and scratchy, they hit the same rib twice and made two different sounds thing here. But I just thought, like, they don't have to, like, physically incapacitate the pathogerms. The way that they take them out is they scan them, find where the whatchamacallit is, the fucking little critter, and then they shoot a beam at it to take the critter out. They could do that, like, hidden. You know, nobody would notice if they were just like, okay, that's where it is, and then pew, take it out. Like, snipe it. They don't do that. So, I don't know. I mean, like, again, I know I'm doing that whole thing, but, I mean, really, they could just fix it by just, like, saying, like, oh, they need to do enough damage, and then it will show up. But they don't. They can do it at any time. The only reason they don't is because they show up in front of the pathogerm, and then they start the scan, and then they'll get interrupted by the pathogerm attacking them. You know, if they just did it from, like, a bush, or, like, a building far enough away that it doesn't see them, they could do it in, like, 5 seconds. You know? Again, I know I'm being too much with that, but that is just something that I thought about while I was watching this. And I also made the point, and this is something that if you follow the Sick Dog account, you will notice this, that they have been showing less pictures of the dog being sick in each episode. There's usually only one... barely one. Like, I have to look really hard to find funny images of the dog being sick on the show anymore. And it is very, very upsetting. I want to get more good pictures of the dog being fucking ill. It's shameful.
You're real sick.
The
You need
content
someone
mill
to
running
come
dry.
and get the pathogerm out of you. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
But that's also an interesting point. Like the future precures need to toughen up their assassination abilities.
Yeah.
I
Through
agree.
your aim and accuracy now.
I agree.
Give one of them a
Where-
sniper.
Yeah.
Where's Cure
What if it
Sniper?
needs a future magical gun, crossbow?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Elvie, would you like to talk about Actually, I'll talk about something first, and then you can talk about Okinawa. So here's just rapid fire. The Assault Lily show, where they're fighting Huge. Do you remember that when we were going over the season?
Yeah.
list? Huge.
They're fighting
They keep
Huge,
saying
yeah.
Huge, and it's
The
very
aliens.
funny. This show is just very Valkyrie Drive-esque in how blatant its lesbianism is. And the two things I'd taken away from it was, one, if you're ever bored, go look up the opening for the show, and you'll see what I mean when I say it is weirdly horny. It is like this the show is very not. It's just a very, normal thing. But the entire opening is just like zoom in on the thigh zone, feet,
no.
weird sock stuff. Like, it is so weird. It is bizarre to me. Otherwise, that show is just they liked Madoka, and Shaft, I guess so. But it is blue hair girl who has the trauma of people dying, and the pink hair girl is her, makes her normal or whatever. Yep, tale as old as time.
Her pink hair makes her normal. Yeah.
Her pink hair makes her normal, and the pink hair girl helps, normalize her. In turn, it is a gacha game, that's for sure. I will say that it is definitely a gacha game anime, but it's fine. 2, the slime show that I know I referred to this last time, where he died in his sleep, right? And he became this little child who has slimes. He lives in the forest. Very by the numbers stuff. It is isekai as isekai. The funny thing I think that they've taken from the other slime anime, reincarnated as a slime, is this idea that I really like in isekai anime, where they are looking for other people who have been isekai'd and trying to hyperanalyze their behavior to see if they are also an isekai baby or whatever. I really like that conceptually. Just not even just being like, hey, because in Slime, I really, that was one of my favorite things in Slime, was when he goes to the city and his hookup at the guild or whatever is like, oh, you died, I died before you did, and I got isekai'd here. Oh my god, I never got to see the later, chapters of the Hoseki no Kuni or whatever like that. Can you recreate them from your memory? And he's like, yeah, I got you. I thought that was funny. But yeah, other than that shows, it feels like very much the Sleepy Princess same thing, but maybe a little less compelling, where it's they definitely don't have the artistic chops going the same way. Where it's just he's he's very good at everything. And all of these people go wow, that's amazing, you're so good at everything, that type of thing. However, the ending, the good one to look up, it's just a cat girl doing an AMV.
Oh.
It's pretty good.
Great.
It's pretty good. I don't know why, but it is. It's pretty good. And then my last thing is Kamen Rider 4's, which I've been watching.
It's not Forze.
It's Forze. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say fours.
Oh.
I just didn't know if I was saying it wrong.
No, you're
Okay.
right. They say Forze yay at the end of the opening. This one's great. This one is if they watched Mean Girls and were we're going to make a Kamen Rider out of Mean Girls. And I'm not even joking. It's really good. But also they have space stuff in it. It's about space. It is basically high school. Main character is just Josuke from JoJo, and he's like, I'm gonna make friends with everyone at the school, but they're all mean kids, right? They have cliques and stuff like that, and each episode is about some drama, high school drama happening, and then this space guy comes down in like a weird like space squid outfit or like a scorpion or something. They're always wearing these big robes, and they're just like, hee, wouldn't it be crazy if you just got fucked up, became twisted? And they give them like this button that turns them into a furry. And then they try to beat up someone, but then he comes in and he does Giga Drill Break from Gurren Lagann, because the series is written by the Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill guy. I did not know that. I found that out after I watched like episode 9, and I said, I think this is my favorite Kamen Rider I've watched so far, and everyone was like, yeah, no shit. Because I'm a big Gurren Lagann fan. It's good. It's really good. I would say this is a good one to start watching Kamen Rider in, honestly. If you ever have an interest in those, I'm having fun with it. It's so weird. They just like, every time they add a new friend to their friend group, they just take them to space. They just like put them in a spacesuit, and then they just go to this really bad like moon green screen soundstage thing, and they're just like, yeah, that's Earth. And they go, damn, that's crazy. So do you want to go to prom? No. Like, it's like the energies of Kamen Rider are very, very good, and I am all the way into them. I recommend this one. It's really funny. Yeah. Okay, so we have 2 more things to discuss here. I'm going to say, Elvie, you go now, so we can end on the really bad thing that John watched. Tell me about Tokinawa, because I have not watched more past episode 1, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, speaking of the moon, so episode 2, nothing really happens, which was like, oh, okay, this is what I expected of this show. This is exactly what I expected. I was like, all right. But episode 3, they finally introduced a new character. They introduced 2 new characters that we see in the crazy dubstep opening. This anime has an insane dubstep opening for what the series actually is thus far. It's insane. I love it. But anyway, episode 3, they finally introduced 2 new characters. And it's like 2 sisters, and they're basically like old classmates, childhood friends in a sense, to the main character, Nasa. And who his voice actor is really weird. I think I mentioned this before, but this man has, his portfolio is this season. He is the main character in Jujutsu no Kaisen, and he is Sango's younger brother who appears in in episode 2 of Yasuhime. So this man is everywhere this season. But anyway, and I don't notice it, but maybe I will if they blur together. But anyway, point is, episode 3, they're like, oh yeah, let's go to the bathhouse, and it's like a local bathhouse, and and kind of like one of the girls running it, she's like a junior basically to the main character Nasa, and she fucking keeps roasting him. It's really funny. Like, she keeps like, and she's a little younger than him, and she keeps like saying like, like she keeps making fun of how like incompetent he is, like how much he sucks and all the time. But it's like legitimately funny. Like I don't know how to explain it properly. Like you need to just kind of watch it at the specific jokes and context. But it's just really funny, and not in a way that makes the dynamic weird or I think unequal. Like it's a really good riff off each other. But then she's also like kind of the first normal character in a sense of like, she finds out, okay, like, who is this girl, like, you're bringing to the bathhouse, Nasa? And he explains, oh, I'm married to her. Like, she's now my wife. And she fucking loses it. And she's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Why are you married at this age to this person you just met? She literally points out, what the fuck's wrong with you? And then she starts, like, again, just roasting him, saying, you don't even know how to, like, you don't even know what you're supposed to do to make her happy at a most basic level, whatever. And she literally points out no one else knows about it but now her, who's like one of the first people in their like in his familial relationship to actually know this happened. But anyway, she's like, whatever. She just says like, she does the whole thing where like the whole trope of like the younger characters giving this older person advice, where she's just saying like, hey, you should do what, here are the things that a girl should be to make happy. It's like it's like a little of a stereotype, but it's not like that malicious, but, it's just a whole common thing where she's saying it from her perspective as a younger girl, too. But she's saying, like, you should, make her happy, And, like, she's like, oh, yeah, you can now come to the bathhouse for free, but she's referring to the girl only, so the girl goes in for free and whatnot. And then, again, she's still, like, making fun of the guy and whatnot. And the girl, the wife, the girl goes into the bathhouse. She ends up meeting the older sister of the other girl. But then those two have a huge misunderstanding. And again, to reiterate, the two sisters of the bathhouse, they're like, again, childhood friends with Nasa. And the older sister thinks, because this is the whole thing where people just don't fucking talk with each other. The older sister thinks that the girl is his sister that they never met before. She's like, oh, are you two family? I've never seen you before. Like, how are you? And she said, and technically they're right. So the whole joke throughout the episode is like, yeah, they're technically family because they're married now. And so there's this huge misunderstanding. But by the end of the episode, they never really clarify upon that. So the two sisters kind of have different perceptions as to who this woman is. And Nasa's now thinking to himself, like, oh my gosh, now I have this pressure to make her happy. I realize we never had a proper ceremony. But meanwhile, the girl is actually secretly disgruntled because now she kind of has this hint of jealousy, realizing she didn't really know him that well, and she didn't realize, oh, he kind of has this close relationship with these other girls this whole time, and they kind of have this closeness to him. So, but other than that, that's kind of what happened. It just introduces these two new characters, so it's kind of nice to see, like, a new dynamic. So, I was worried, because literally episode 2, I can't describe it. I don't even remember what happened. Nothing really happened. But it kind of ends on a very twisted note because, they're going home. And then, like, this car pulls over, kind of following the girl. Oh, Tsukasa. Her name's Tsukasa. I need to actually refer to her name. Tsukasa, the wife. And it's like this Hime trope anime. Like, there's like, she's going, tee-hee, I know I'm going to do something. I'm like, who the fuck is she? But anyway, they're going to introduce a new character. I guess fulfill the whole cast, because it seemed like there was just gonna be 5 of them, whatever, in the opening. But yeah, it's just like a whatever series. Again, nothing's really happening. There's like cute moments where if you just want something that's kind of wholesome, and perhaps there's some sort of like bigger thing that going on under the surface, because it's a little ridiculous, right? It's like, what is the point of the series, right? There's nothing really happening, but it's just there. It's just there to provide this bizarre fulfillment fantasy of marrying young, and that's that. But the main character is pretty stupid, though. I don't know. Like, there's this whole setup. There's this whole setup where, like, oh, he's kind of smart, but I'm not seeing that. I'm not really seeing that. There's this whole setup where he's like, oh yeah, he's really smart.
He was supposed to be like a genius, right? Like,
yeah, but I don't see it. It's not really being applied anywhere. Maybe the whole thing is like he's academically like really, but like socially, that's why he's very awkward and doesn't know like. But yet he's letting himself like get tied up in the situation. Like, yeah, I'm gonna marry this girl like I just met because she saved my life from a car accident. I don't know. We're not really seeing the application at all here. It's just focusing on everything else. So yeah, really really weird. But yeah, it is what it is. It's not really. There's nothing really insane happening yet. But again, I feel like from what I'm reading more about this series, there definitely seems to be some weird underlying thing going on here. But it's not really tackling at it. It's not going to really. I don't think it's going to tackle it at all. Maybe until the very end of whatever the series will end. The series reminds me a lot of like kind of like, what's the word? I don't want to say life fantasy, but like I reminded a lot of like something very old, like Oh My Goddess, where it's very similar, where it's really revolving around like we're gonna already establish a relationship in the beginning. This guy marrying this possibly otherworldly girl and just being tied in a relationship. But the difference between that and this is that I think tons of like older anime like that really push towards this harem. Like there's this harem, even though we know for a fact that the main relationship's not going to be threatened. Like I also think about Tenchi Muyo in a way too, where there's a similar thing going on. We're going to have all these other female characters, but none of them really are a threat at all. And then this one doesn't really have a threat whatsoever. It really sticks out, I think, compared to the rest of the season where we have a lot of like, either horror stories or some sort of bizarre controversial thing going on here. But this is just what it is. Like here's like a little marriage story thing. That's it. Nothing much else. But yeah, I was just very worried this was just gonna be boring. But like with the addition of new characters, it seems like there's gonna be a little more fun in here involved. So, Yeah, just gonna keep following it.
All right, I'll probably catch up, honestly, at some point.
But yeah, episode 2, literally, I can't tell you what happened. I think, honestly, nothing happens.
I'd believe that. I would believe
Yeah.
that. All right, John. What wretched show did you watch, John?
I need to look at the name of it because I forgot it. Okay, well, I heard about this show, and I knew I had to watch it. Not for a positive reason, but because I enjoy inflicting pain on myself and inflicting pain on others. I watched this in Chooch Chat with everyone in there, and they hated it. They were very upset with me that I put that in there. And that show is called Dogeza. I tried asking while kowtowing. It is a show. It is a 3-minute long short show where I don't know if it's the same man or if it's going to be multiple men, but in this episode, a man begs and pleads a girl to show him her boobs. And by beg, I mean literally like begging and pleading.
He kowtows.
He kowtows.
Yep, he goes on the floor, yeah.
It is one of the most depraved things I've ever seen. It's one of those things where, I think the only people that I could actually recommend this to in a weird sense, maybe cut away before the end, because she does take her shirt off and does show her boobs. It is censored, but I'm sure that there's a Blu-ray version available when this is done that you will be able to see the nipples if you so desire. I hope you don't. I really hope you don't. But I think that if you're having self-esteem issues and you're thinking, man, if you're like me and you think that you're not able to talk to your preferred gender or type of person or whatever, maybe watch this and just think, that's not me. I'm not doing that. Think about that.
Oh my gosh.
Because you're probably not. And if you are doing that, if you are begging people for that kind of shit, just think about what you look like. Think about the kind of person that you are. And stop being that. So, it's disgraceful that this is a thing that exists. I don't know if I'm going to watch more of it. It might be something because I think the sense of shock and the humor of it probably only works once. If I'm going to keep putting this in Chooch Chat, it's going to stop being funny very quickly.
So years ago, I shamefully know about this show because years ago, I don't know how long ago, but like I've seen the manga like pages scantulate. So I was like, I'm going to read this. What the fuck is this? Right? I read up to a good point, and a very like baffling thing happens at some point that I highly you don't have to do this to yourself, but I am highly recommending you to keep watching it until that bizarre twist happens, because it was the most baffling thing I thought at that point in time, and I genuinely thought it was funny.
Okay.
But after that, you can just leave. But it was insane. It was truly unhinged, and it's not what you expect. There are spoiler tags on there are spoiler tags on the series for a reason, because what the fuck? It actually kind of was insane that they did that for like the kind of show this is, but yeah, no, but truly at its heart, it is a humiliation fetish show. But I do agree, it's baffling that something like this gets a pass at being made and possibly air somewhere, or at least gets distributed somewhere. But meanwhile, there's tons of other things and more fulfilling stories that struggle to get made. Like, come on. It's really weird. Oh god,
it's not even
so bizarre.
It's not
it's the issue is like, this is blatantly pornography in a sense to someone. It's not showing anything, not showing much at least, but it's pornography at first. Like, how, like, what is the decision behind, like, we're gonna get this made, let's put it out there. But but like I said, meanwhile, there's some other things that could be made. I don't know what's thinking out. And in the end, this is not even gonna get like a mass release, so it's not gonna make a lot of profit anyway. It's gonna serve a very niche amount of people, where whatever this is yielding, I don't think it's worth it, right? No. Right. But I do highly recommend, like, honestly, because I think that was like a very interesting thing to end up doing at some point, and it really does subvert your expectations, I think. But otherwise, it's pretty straight in terms of like what it's doing. And it's the same guy, from what I remember. I think it literally is the same guy. He's begging different people. He's begging different types of women, like different tropes are, of course, dealt with. But if you're able to will yourself to watch, and I hope they don't stick it at the end, so you can like quit early. But I wouldn't be surprised if they stick this baffling thing they do at the end. But if you're willing to will yourself into keeping it up, I think like what they do is pretty satisfying with this bizarre thing they do. Again, it's a weird spoiler. I can't describe it. But I thought it was like, wow, that's kind of funny. But then that's it. That's the only funny thing about it. It's like, other than that, it's like, oh god, yeah, this is meant to serve one purpose only. And this is why the borderline between pleasure and pain is very thin, right?
Sure is. And
I'll say that.
I mean, it's true for what happens in that show, and it's true for me watching it, I guess, because I want to die watching it, but also we cracked some jokes, and it's all subjective, I guess. Anyway, respect women.
Thank you for your...
Yeah, there you go. Gay rights, everybody. Really, the thing that I should just say is be normal. Just be normal. Fucking normal. Like that's actually it. Just be fucking normal. You
talk to another person.
Yeah. No matter what kind of relationship you want with somebody, be normal.
All right. Do we got anything else?
I think that's it.
All right.
No questions this time. Because
all right.
I feel like everyone is powering up for Angel Beats. I'm not sure why yet, but it feels like people are just preparing to talk about Angel Beats.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Yeah. As always, if you want to send any questions or opinions about literally any anime, it can be any of them. I don't care.
Yeah.
You could tell me about
all of them.
Go ahead. Tell me about, like, I don't know, what's something stupid? Pizza cat, samurai pizza cats. Like,
hey, don't talk shit about samurai pizza cats.
You could tell me about that. I would love to hear it.
I would too.
Yeah, or Cat Planet Cuties. I'm just trying to think of all the weirdest anime. Full Metal Panic, sure. Full Metal Panic. If you want to talk about that, you could. Not One Piece. Sorry, again, we have that rule. We don't let anyone talk about One Piece. I'm sorry.
Well, it's not really an unspoken rule. We have been speaking about it extremely times. It is often.
And none of them are allowed to talk about One Piece. Mm-hmm. That's the fucked up part of the rule. Yeah. All right. So just videogamechoo.tumblr.com/ask or Twitter. Just send it in. Whatever. Hey. Okay. As always, you can get episodes of this show 1 week early by going to patreon.com/VGCC. $3 gets you everything that we do that is locked anyways. 1 week early. Yeah. Does any of y'all got anything else you want to say before I karate chop?
No.
All right. Cool. Karate chop. We are done. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope you all have a good day, night, week, year, month. I always do that opposite. Whatever, it doesn't matter. All right. Bye, everyone.